welcome to our virtual information meeting at Eastside School. It's wonderful to have you here with us, wherever you are watching from, and we're happy and excited to share something of our school with you. We have a panel here this evening, and on this panel we have David Crew Brown, who is the chairperson of the school board. We have Jesse Burnhams, who is the school chaplain. We also have a parent with us, Tina Schmidt. We have Shan DeSmit, the principal of the school, and we have Michelle Sabia, the marketing manager of the school. And we're excited, as I said before, to share with you something of what Eastside School is about. We're going to kick start with a video. We'll play it at the end of the evening as well, but it'll give you some insights into what Eastside School is all about. So there we go, just a little introduction of what Eastside School is, packed with visuals and excitement. And there's a lot more that we want to share with you this evening too. I'll be your host for this evening. My name is Bruce Collins, and I also serve on the board here. Our principal, Shan DeSmit, is going to start the evening by sharing just a little bit about Eastside School and what it means to be a teacher here. So Shan, why don't you step up and share with us from a teacher's perspective.
So at the heart of every school is a teacher, and at Eastside School we have amazing teachers. Each one is selected for their heart and passion for teaching and for children. They are all qualified teachers, and more than anything else we look for teachers who will mentor children, teachers who will build and shape lives of children. And so our teachers are selected with bearing in mind that they are believers in the Lord Jesus Christ, and they are chosen to make sure that your children get a really good integrated biblical approach to teaching. And they include in all their subjects and in all their learning that approach. The teachers range in ages from young to older, let me say it that way, experienced and less experienced, with a different range of abilities, and they make a great team. Sorry, I'm going to take this off for now. So we love our teachers, we love our staff, they work well together. In each classroom in the younger grades we have teacher assistants, also chosen to make sure that the teaching is carried on well and assist the teacher in many other ways. So it gives the teacher a chance to hand over some of the other work, the routine work, to a teacher assistant. So for our school, we place a very high value on our teachers, and it's always great to know that the staff work well together and that we are shaping lives of children.
Thank you for sharing, Shan. Just from my experience, Eastside teachers are dedicated, they're creative, especially now during the time of COVID and moving to a blended learning model. They've risen to the occasion, and I know the students at Eastside are benefiting from their input. Tina, who is a parent here, is going to share a little bit with us now what it means to be a parent here and just some of her experience having children at the school. Thanks, Tina.
Thank you. Good evening, future parents of Eastside. We have two boys that are here at Eastside School, and they have been here for our oldest is 9. We have been here for 7 years. What sticks out the most is we've had an opportunity through the school of watching our children taking part as guard of honor at the Cricket International Games, and it has also been exciting for the children being able to see international players and walking into the stadium with them and seeing themselves on international TV. Another thing that has also been very exciting for us as parents is seeing our children developing spiritually at such a young age. So welcome you to Eastside School, and thank you very much for the opportunity of being at Eastside.
Thank you, Tina. A little later, Tina's going to be sharing a bit about sport at the school as well from a parent's perspective. I just want to encourage you too. You will notice that you can ask questions, and later in the evening we'll try and get to some of those questions as we move through the program. I'm going to ask Shan to step up again because, as you all know, many schools at this time during COVID have struggled to meet the needs of their children. And Eastside was able to pivot in true innovative fashion and establish a blended learning model that is working very well. So Shan, just step up again and share with the people what Eastside School has been doing in terms of blended learning.
Right, so thanks to the board and the innovation of the board of Eastside School, we've really fast-tracked going on to online learning. It has been a very amazing experience. The staff in 5 weeks did what normally takes about 6 months in terms of training, and they've got themselves into the Google Classrooms. So we have a blended model. Currently we have children attending school and we have children learning at home online. The reason for doing this is just pure safety. Parents were given the option to choose whether they wanted the children to come to school, and some did because they felt the children needed the socialization and the direct classroom teaching, and other parents, for various reasons of health and possibly family situations with older family members at home, elected to stay at home. So we do both, and the staff are really doing that well. They manage the classroom teaching, and then in the afternoons and later in the week the online learning. So we have a great model. It works very well in this time, and we will continue that until parents feel safe and comfortable about sending children back to school. So we're going ahead in terms of doing both, and it's great to know that this option is available. So we've had many inquiries recently about parents who are in the middle of a situation where their child can't be at school for various reasons and would prefer to be learning, and so are joining the online school.
Thank you for that insight, Shan. I'm going to ask the chair of our board, Derek Crew Brown, to also share a little bit of his experience of Eastside School and something about the school ethos.
Thanks, Bruce, and yeah, wonderful to be able to connect with parents and prospective parents online. Very different to how we would have had an open evening in normal times, but during these times we are trying to be innovative, as Shan said, and trying to bring a different format to this open evening. I've been part of the school board as chairman for the last few years, and really what's been exciting to me is how the school has grown. We are now a fully fledged primary school. So we've gone from really just humble beginnings, and over a period of multiple years, like Tina has said, her children have been here for several years now, have grown to a fully fledged primary school, and we continue to build on those solid foundations. I think for me, Bruce, the areas that have really excited me is to see the spiritual input into the lives of children. We welcome anyone into the school from a parent point of view, but really our ethos and our focus has been on Christian education, and we really value that very highly. We want to make sure that it's integrated into the learning. We want to make sure that we can pray with our learners. We want to make sure that we can pray for families and care for families when they're going through times of crisis. And this COVID is just a clear example of that. So I think as a school, really been amazing to see under Shan's leadership how the school has blossomed. We continue to grow, about 170 children at the moment at the school, And as we grow, we'll continue to add facilities to the school. So it's been great to be part of it. We've got a board that functions well, and we work very closely with the church, and through that are also able to serve the community. And I think for me, if I just look at the 4 core values: building knowledge, growing skills, reaching community, and shaping lives, those are foundational to what we do, and it's been a joy to see children grow in those areas here at Eastside School. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. I just want to remind you, if you have any questions about the school that you would like us to answer this evening, we will be going through some frequently asked questions, but if you have some specific questions that aren't being answered as we speak through these different questions, then feel free to post those on the chat as you're watching this. I want to pick up on something that Dave was talking about. That is the Christian ethos of the school, and I'm going to invite our school chaplain, Jesse Burnhams, up to share a little bit about the Christian ethos of the school and the connection with the church and his role here at the school.
Awesome, thanks Bruce. So, I mean, as Dave mentioned, the 4 pillars of building knowledge, growing skills, shaping lives, and reaching communities is what we're passionate about. But we're passionate about that because Jesus was passionate about that. Here at the school, we believe in the Bible. We believe the Bible being the Word of God, and I've had the honor and the privilege of being able to walk alongside students and be a part of this mission that Jesus calls us to, which is actually shaping lives. We believe in the next generation here at Eastside School, so we are passionate about these students. We want them to flourish. We want them to recognize the exciting future that they have in Christ. And we get to come alongside them and actually help them to achieve that through everything that we do. So it is an honor, it is a privilege, we don't take it for granted. We are just excited and we're passionate about what we believe God is going to do in the future with the next generation. I've had the privilege of being able to teach Bible curriculum to a lot of the students, and even having some of the students from the school. I'm a pastor at Eastside Community Church as well. Just being able to have some of the students from the school come through to the youth group on Friday nights, just to be able to have that relationship and have that connection and have that spiritual input with the students. It really has been so amazing. It's been so amazing to see the way that God is shaping the next generation and molding them into what He wants to do. And I really believe that Jesus wants to change the world through the students here at Eastside Primary School. So we are excited, and it's an honor and a privilege to be able to be a part of that. Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you, Jesse. I think for us as a board and also for the school leadership team, it's wonderful to have someone like Jesse on staff who can pastor our kids at the school, who can have spiritual input into their lives and the life of the teachers at our school. So that's very, very important for us. Just some questions that I'd like to ask, and I'm going to turn back to you, Shan. I think very prominently on the Eastside logo is the motto, shaping lives. And I think obviously that's a very important thing for us. I'm just curious to know, Shan, could you explain a little more about that motto, shaping lives?
So the idea of shaping lives comes from Ephesians, where it says we are God's workmanship. And that's a very beautiful picture, because I often think of a potter at a potter's wheel, and he puts his hands on clay and he shapes lives. And that's what God in essence is doing here at the school. So we really desire to shape the lives of the children, and that shape needs to be unique for each child. And so we take each child and look at them and say, God, how do we shape the lives of this child? How are we going to be effective in shaping that life? The most incredible thing, though, begins to happen, because as you shape the life of a child, you're also shaping the life of a family. And we get amazing reports of children coming home and saying, no, Mummy, you can't do that because that's not right. They taught us that at school. And so the carryover from school to home is very, very precious. But the third part of shaping lives is that we as a staff have our lives shaped as we shape the lives of the children. And so God works in a whole to shape those lives. And each one of us carries that handprint of God as we shape lives and are shaped by those around us.
Thank you, Shan. That really is our heart at the school, is to shape young lives. And that really is a priority for us. I know the question, or the burning question for many parents is how much does it cost to send your child to Eastside? And so Michelle, who is in charge of marketing here, is going to share a little bit with you what that looks like, and give you some more information about our school fees.
Good evening, parents. Our school fees at Eastside School goes as follows. It ranges from preschool. For a month at preschool, it's 2,750. That is excluding the aftercare as well as the registration fee. And in our primary school, the fees, they start from 2,990, and which is grade R, and they go up to 4,180 in grade 7. That also exclude the aftercare. And we also have, we prefer that the parents pay the stationery fee and we give the kids the stationery pack. That actually lasts for a year. And another thing about our school fees, we pay it over 11 months. And also we have discounts. And our discounts goes as follows. If a parent has siblings at school, they qualify for a discount in the entry fee, which is the registration fee, and they also qualify for a discount in the school fees. And also we have a discount in when a parent pays an amount of school fees in full before the 25th of January, you qualify for a 5% discount in that. And for a more detailed school fees, you can visit our website as well as our Facebook page. And also you can call our office for more detailed information, and we are very happy to help you. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. I think just important to note that Eastside is an independent school for pre-primary and primary children. And just the school fees that Michelle quoted there are valid for this year. There will be an increase for the next school year, but that hasn't been decided yet. We're busy working through those details, but it won't be more than 10% on the fees that were quoted this evening. But please do visit our website for more details. I want to speak a little bit, as we're speaking about school fees, David, about bursary and funding at Eastside School. As chairman of the board, I know you have some insights on these matters, and I think that would be helpful for parents to hear.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. So really, as a school, we have, over the last few years, tried to establish ways of helping families who can't afford to be in a school like ours to be part of the school. There's a Laura Tucker Foundation that was established, and that has provided a bursary for children into the school. At the moment, there are 2 children that benefit from that, and we will continue looking at how to build out that foundation. Laura Tucker was one of the parents of a child here at school who tragically passed away, and the fund was set up in her honor. And so it's really exciting for us to see that. We also, as a board, continue to try and look for ways and means of coming alongside families and working out how to deal with finances, especially now during this COVID time. We've tried to find ways and means of helping those families in crisis to either have deferred payments or come up with a payment plan. So I think overall, our funds that go into the school all get reinvested at the moment back into the school. We look at continue to develop our facilities here at the school. We've added more classrooms this year, and we'll continue to look at adding more classrooms as we go forward. And we've got a master plan for the site development, and all the fees that we get go into trying to find ways and means of making our school a better place. And yeah, if as we've said, there is more information on the website. Please contact us to get that information, and we're delighted to then take you through further details as required.
Thank you for sharing that, David. Shan, maybe this is a question for you, and it relates to curriculum, so maybe you could speak about that as well. The question from Esinyembe is, do you offer any business studies, and if yes, from what grade? And maybe then talk a little bit more about the curriculum that the school follows too.
So we follow the CAPS curriculum as laid out by the Department of Basic Education. That is quite a broad-based curriculum. We introduce economic and management sciences in grade 7. So that is the phase 7, 8, and 9 do that. So we have it starting in grade 7. But we do put in quite a strong emphasis on entrepreneurship throughout the school. So right from our very little ones, they have master bakers where they bring something to school. They then sell it to their friends, and that helps them to understand that there's a procedure in producing and then selling and bringing an income into the school. So there is quite a good emphasis on that. Throughout our curriculum, we use CAPS and add to it. So we put in extras. We have several co-curricular options at the school. Right now they're not functioning, but we have we have a dance teacher, we have music as an extra, we have sport that comes in with sports coaches that is part of the curriculum, and then we have extracurricular things that are not included in the curriculum but paid for by parents. So we have people coming in to do ballet, hip-hop, coding, chess, and various options like that. We've also added in spoken language isiZulu at this stage, so that there are many options that the children are offered and can carry on with doing those options. So we have a very broad spectrum of things that we do, and all the time we watch out for children who need to be further developed. So we have quite a diverse curriculum. We also watch out for children who need support to be able to manage the basic curriculum and then give them that support. So the basic things from the department are in place. From grade R to grade 3, it's the languages and then maths and life skills, and we differentiate from the grade 4 to 7 curriculum as laid out by the department.
Thank you very much, Shan. We've got some other questions coming through, which I'm going to ask Michelle to answer. And so if Michelle would step up. Nash asks whether or not the Eastside school fees include extracurricular activities like sports and other things.
Okay. Good evening again, parents. The extramural activities are included in the school fees, which is soccer, as well as cricket, which is sport. But if the parents want to go on an academic side of things, they can pay extra, which means there are outside companies that comes and render those services at schools like ballet and swimming. Then the parents, they pay for that. But the school's extramural activities that are offered by the schools are included in the school fees. Thanks, Ruth.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Arias asked how much the school fees are specifically for grade 2, and I have them here. So for this year, it's 3,940 per month, and I think it's very important to note that that's for 11 months, so not for the full 12 months. Obviously, as I said, there will be an increase, but no more than 10% on that. I'm going to ask Jesse, as the school chaplain and a pastor at Eastside Community Church, to answer this question. Bridget asks, do the parents need to join the church for their child to attend the school?
Not necessarily, no. Actually, the answer is no. But what we do really believe is that if you do not go to a church, why not come and check Eastside Community Church out? But you don't have to come to Eastside Community Church to send your kids to Eastside Primary. But we would love, if you don't go to a church, to come and check us out.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm going to turn to Tina again now, because we've been speaking about sports and extracurricular activities. I know, Tina, your children are involved in sports at Eastside School. Why don't you share with the parents who are joining us this evening what they might expect as far as sports is concerned at Eastside?
So in terms of sports, this year is now gone, but we have been having mini soccer and mini cricket. Next year, the school is going to introduce mini netball. And there are coaches that will come once a week to coach the children. And Saturdays, we will be having the sports festival for the children.
Thank you very much, Tina. We have wonderful grounds here at Eastside as well, and a wonderful soccer field. So kids really enjoy getting out there and running around and enjoying the sport that is on offer. There's a question here from Nash, and maybe this is something that either Shan or Dave can answer. The question is here, as the school grows, is it going to have a high school? Michelle says that's a common question.
So thank you for that question, Nash. I think from our point of view at the moment, we are trying to build a really solid primary school, and that's really been the focus of where we'd like to see the school going. We are looking in the process of expanding our facilities to potentially offer second classes in the grade. At the moment, we've got one class per grade. But at the moment, we're focusing on primary school, and we then are seen as a feeder school to some of the high schools in the area. We are zoned to be able to have 500 children in our school, and at the moment, we've got about 170 children, and so I think that gives you an idea of the growth opportunity that we have as a school. But at this stage, we haven't got our goals set on adding a high school.
Another important question on parents' minds, Shan, is just in terms of how connected the school is to the Department of Education, to quality assurance, people like Umalusi and the Department of Social Development. I'm wondering if you could share with the parents about our Umalusi status and the registration with those departments.
So right now we are registered with, verified by Umalusi, which is quite a process. So there's two parts to every Umalusi verification. One is a desktop, where we present all the documents and have them in place, and the other is a site visit. It is a very stringent process, so they make sure that everything is functioning as it should. So we are right now registered for grade 1, 2, and 3, and in the process of registering grade 4 to 7. That has been brought to a halt. Umalusi are on hold at the moment for the older grades. We are going to carry on with the desktop verification at this point, and also do all the benchmarking, so that if at all possible, and Umalusi can manage it, we will have a site visit within this year. We are also registered with the Department of Social Development for the younger grades. So if you've watched the debate in the education sector, you will see that ECD has had quite a difficult time in coming to a point of registration. Our school is also registered with the Department of Social Development. And then we are part of the Association of Christian Schools International in South Africa, and that registration also requires quite a stringent process to hold us accountable to them at this point. So we've got quite good accountability to the various organizations, which makes the school a very good base for functioning and for being presented in the community. We also are registered with the Department of Education and manage and answer to the Independent Schools Directorate for all the work that we do. So that's called an EMIS registration. So we are registered with them as well, and they hold us accountable for anything that happens in the school. We use Department of Education school terms for Gauteng usually. This year we've deviated from that because we feel that we want to give the opportunity for more school days than what the department is currently following. But we send and submit all our learners' marks to the department so that they also follow what we're doing.
Shan, just while you stay up there, one last question for you, and that is about the languages that are offered at the school, language of instruction as well as other languages.
So our language of instruction, so our first language is English. Everything is monitored in English. We have to bring especially the younger children, we take quite a long time to get them acclimatized to speaking English. We have very competent staff who start switching them over from their home language to English. We have a wide variety of home languages, ranging from French to real American English, and then all the way through others. We have a number of children from Korea, from China, and so on. So the language range is very wide. So we have quite a focus on English. Our second language, or first additional language at this stage, is Afrikaans. The reason for choosing that is most of our high schools in the area run an Afrikaans stream. So if you're going to switch from Eastside Primary into a high school in the area, they do offer Afrikaans. The other reason is that Afrikaans is a fairly young language and it's fairly easy to learn. It's not as difficult as others. And then we do spoken isiZulu for the children. We are looking at and surveying parents to find out how we move forward from here, so it won't necessarily stay with that language range, although English will always be our language of learning and teaching. We're very aware that we need to offer multiple languages, and the reason for that is that the more languages the child is offered, the more their ability to progress in those languages continues. So we do that by learning to greet each other in different languages. In different weeks, we encourage children to speak in their home language. I know in some cases schools say you may not speak anything but English. We don't do that. We celebrate the cultural and language differences of all our children because that is very valuable to us.
Thank you, Shan. That's wonderful to hear. I just want to say in closing, and we're going to show a little video right at the end again that'll give you a taste of Eastside School, that it would be wonderful if you visited our website, which is www.eastsideschool.co.za. Check out the information that is on there. The contact details for the school are on there too. You can also search for us on Facebook and see a lot of what happens and what the life of the school is like on our Facebook page too. So we would invite you to check those out. We'd invite you, if you have more questions, to check out the contact details on the website and email the school. We would be happy to give you all the information that you'd want. And we would really invite you to seriously consider sending your child to Eastside. As Shan was speaking earlier about shaping lives, I was reminded of our school concert at the end of last year. And I remember sitting in the front row of this auditorium watching every single child in the school get on stage, and they were glowing and beaming just as they celebrated life and celebrated being part of the school and celebrated the message of Christmas. And so we would invite you to consider having your child as part of that your child's life would be shaped by the wonderful teachers we have, that they would meet wonderful friends at our school, and that they would grow and learn and be academically astute as they prepare for high school. So we want to thank you for joining us here this evening. Again, lastly, I know I've said this before, but check out our websites, check out our Facebook page, and get in touch with us. We'd be happy to help you with the application process. So let's close with the video. Thank you for being with us, and good night, and keep safe and well.